not to spoil the ending to the main event for you, I posted my reaction of Naomi's cash in, and I was about to tag you as a collaboration. I was like, oh, fuck, he hasn't gotten to the match yet. As soon as I tag him, it's going to spoil him. So I was like, oh, no. So I immediately canceled the upload and then undid the collaboration because I didn't want to ruin it for you. So I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, no, wait. He hasn't seen it. He just said he's behind. No, I'll fucking ruin it for him. Because it was too good of an ending for me to. I did not want to be the guy that fucking ruined it for you. Oh, I noticed. Oh, you know what the problem I used to have with when the WWE Network was still a thing, when it was its own thing. Remember when it was still like its own app and shit? So like I remember when shows would happen, I'd be stuck at work or whatever years ago. I would legit forget sometimes that it forces push notifications on you for match outcomes. I had like so many matches ruined and spoiled for me to the point where I actually deleted the app off my phone. I got so pissed off. I was like, dude, you can send me notifications for the fucking app. How dare you send push notifications to me? Like, what if your fans aren't, yeah, what if your fans aren't watching, if they're stuck at work and you're just sitting here, they open their phone thinking it's a text message. Oh, so-and-so just won the champion. And you're like, what the fuck, bro? I was going to watch it when I got off of work. You know what I mean? Where are we live on right now? I'll check. Oh, fucking course. Hold on. Hold on. I can't hear us either. I'm watching this on Instagram Live. There is no volume. Hold on. I can't hear us either. Yeah, now I can. Yeah. Speak. I'm watching this on Instagram Live. There is no volume. Hold on, Snug. Hold on, Snug. I can't hear us either. Yeah, now I can. Yeah. Speak. It's on Instagram Live. There's I can't hear you, but I can hear me.
All right. What about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can. Yeah. Speak. It's on Instagram Live. I'm watching this on Instagram Live. There's no volume. I can't hear you, but I can hear me. All right. What about now? Now I can hear you. Tommy, speak.
Do I sound good or do I sound like
you sound normal?
Okay.
What's up? Yeet. Yeet.
Okay, I can hear all of us. Yeah, Instagram. In case you didn't know, by the way, Instagram Live is literally like an 8-second delay.
What the fuck, man? That's so dumb. All right. Well, I think we're good now. Thank you, Toxic, for the heads up. Jesus Christ, man. All right. How's everyone doing today?
Pretty fucking good show. I want to say before we start, Toxic won't be with us for a few episodes. He's going through a loss with the family right now. I'm not going to get into that, but if you are a fan of the show, please send some love and support for our good buddy Toxic. He is one of the main panel members here, and we love him very much, Toxic. We wish you the best and hope everything's all right. And we're always here for you, buddy. So, we love you. Can't wait to have you back. And also, if I may, before you start, this show, I will say that I have never actually been more disappointed that a show was not sold out when it fucking deserved to be sold out. Holy shit, what a show. But you know what's crazy? For a show that did not sell nearly what it needed to sell out because of all the other crap getting pushed this week, it underperformed on its own ticket sales. This show, you wouldn't know that it wasn't sold out based on that crowd tonight. What a fucking crowd.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. It wasn't like towards like the middle of the show where I remembered like, oh shit, this was supposed to be the show that didn't really sell very good, and we were kind of wondering like how it would look like on TV, and it was literally something that didn't even cross my mind because the fans there were live, they were into it. Like in the very very first match, which we'll get into, they were already going crazy, for the opening match. So yeah, that was cool to see. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna talk about the show, but overall, it was a lot better than Saturday night's main event. I think it's safe to say, right? But yeah, let's get into it, man. This is WWE Evolution from July 13th.
Saying that really isn't fucking saying much because Saturday night's main event sucked ass.
Hold on, I gotta fix your camera. I got you on the wrong camera. Give me a second. I got you on Toxic's camera. Let me see. There we go. I mean, it is and it isn't. I get what you're saying, Tommy, but like in a sense that this was a all women's pay-per-view, and also we talked about it how some of these matches leading up to the show were just like the build-ups were just like non-existent for some of these matches, but after seeing this entire card from top to bottom, I'm pretty surprised and I'm pretty happy with the results.
This show is the definition of a sleeper hit. It had no right to be, it had a right to be decent. It didn't have a right to be great. Mm-hmm. I mean, I got to be honest with you. You got to remember, this is a PLE that is only the women's roster. So it's some of your biggest stars in the company that are on the women's side. We're not talking about, it's not your biggest stars in professional wrestling. The Romans, the Punks, the Seths, the Drews, the John Cenas. Like these girls tonight, these women tonight, in my opinion, proved exactly why this deserves to be its own annual PLE. And the fact that we haven't had one in near 7 years after seeing this shit tonight is a crime that needs to be corrected. I mean,
yeah,
come on. These girls tonight, I mean, these girls deserved every single bit of the flowers that they received tonight, and they deserve more.
Yeah, I think after tonight, I'm willing to bet that this is something that they have to start doing every year. I mean, I would be down to see it. I'd be down to see that shit every year, but let's get into it, you guys. There was a lot of stars in the arena for this show. A lot of legends. We saw people like Jacqueline, Ivory, Maurice was there, Vicky Guerrero, even Mark Henry was there. There was a couple people that stuck out to me as far as like legends goes, and some of the other people in the women's division that really got my attention. The first one, The Rock's daughter, Ava or whatever her name is, she got a few seconds of spotlight in the show, and she was named the first ever female general manager. And I was like, okay, that's cool and everything.
That's a lie. That's a blatant lie.
Is it?
Yeah, because Vicky Guerrero was the general manager of SmackDown like 15 years ago.
Oh.
On top of that, you know who else has been the general manager of like Raw? AJ Lee.
I don't even remember that.
AJ Lee was once named the general manager of Raw, way back in like 2010 and 11.
GM at one point too.
Sonya Deville was a co-general manager of SmackDown. not even 4 years ago. Okay,
that's fucking wild, dude. But hey,
yeah. What history rewritten bullshit is that to feed The Rock's oversized forehead ego? I mean, what a blatant lie. Vicky, like they literally had Vicky Guerrero. They said that about Ava. Then they went to Vicky Guerrero, who, by the way, was a SmackDown GM for like 2 fucking years. When I was in middle school, she was the GM trying to give, when she was a heel, running with Edge, who was a heel and a champion, and the Edge heads. And they were literally booking the show. She was literally making the show, so Edge had an advantage every single week. Whatever she could do to make sure he retained his championship. That's why he cozied up to her, because she was the GM of the show. That was the whole storyline. What bullshit is this?
Even
she was there tonight.
Besides that, like that's not why I thought this moment was so cringe. It was just the fact that, but you guys are right. You guys are absolutely right. That's total bullshit. And it just adds more fuel to the fire that I was like, this is insane. Like they're just, what? We're just making stuff up now just to give her a moment, give her a part of this women's evolution. Like she's actually done something. So now they can say, oh, she's part of the evolution. Like, what?
Are you kidding me? She hadn't even graduated middle school when the women's evolution started in like 2016. Like Ava's like 23, 24 years old. She was like 14 years old when the women's evolution thing actually started. Like the 4 horsewomen, and like they went out on TV with Stephanie and made that whole announcement about hashtag give divas a chance. Ava was just getting out of sports bras. She was just fitting in to the forehead her father gave her before. Like, what is this bullshit? Oh my God. I love that they're rewriting the history for the casual fans. That's what it is. Because they know the casual fans, the newer fans, don't know that that's bullshit.
Yeah. And for the people that have bad memory like myself, because I was just like, wait a minute, this don't sound right. Shout out to Angel Vasquez on the comments. I feel like Naomi ruined the ending. The match was already cooking. Like, I don't care who won between Rhea and Io, but the match was cooking. We'll get into the main event for sure. But before we get into that, the other thing, too, I mentioned there was 2 people that stood out to me that were part of the show as part of this women's evolution. How did you feel about Stephanie McMahon being the host of this evolution?
You know what? I've gotten used to the fact that they've tried to make it seem like Stephanie invented women's wrestling in 2016. They try to make it seem like the women's evolution was her idea because they tried to make that an on-paper thing, because they really tried to make it back then that it was because of the Bella twins and because of Stephanie specifically, when actually it was thanks to Paige, AJ Lee, and the 4 horsewomen, Naomi, and the Bellas, all working together in tandem to make women's wrestling taking more seriously. And a lot of that in part came to the success of Total Divas, thanks to John Cena and like Daniel Bryan and the Usos being on the show, not just them. Okay. And then Stephanie took all that credit for such a long time. Vince tried to make it all about her for the longest time. She was the face of it, right? That pissed me off for a long time until I started to appreciate everything Stephanie really has done for women's wrestling and for wrestling in general, because it is good to have Stephanie back. I like seeing her up there and giving her 2 cents. I love her new podcast. So now I've resigned myself to the fact that I think Stephanie being the voice or the spokesperson for the evolution, being the most powerful woman in professional wrestling, I'm okay with it now.
Tommy?
It does make sense. I mean, she was like the head of it, technically, because of the fact that she was, Vince McMahon's daughter. So technically, she was a part of it from the beginning, even though she really wasn't. But still, like, she still was part of it in a way. Mm-hmm. But it's Stephanie McMahon. She's always going to get the credit for everything within women's wrestling, just because of the fact that she was the head of the company at one point.
The funny thing is, Stephanie's involvement, the whole evolution, people forget about the key detail, is that it started when I believe it was either AJ Lee, that tweeted and called Stephanie out for the fact that women's wrestling wasn't taken seriously in WWE. After AJ left, she called Stephanie McMahon out on Twitter and did a shoot on her. That's what then started the hashtag Give Divas a Chance. People forget that detail. It was not because it was Stephanie's idea. It's because Stephanie got called out for doing nothing to help change the things that were going on in the company.
Interesting. All right, y'all. Well, now that we got all that out of the way, let's get into the matches. The opening match for this Evolution show, PLE event, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Bayley, Lyra, and Becky went at it. As soon as these three women stepped into the ring, they were already getting all the flowers and all the ovation, and the fans were really hyped for this one. I'm talking about This Is Awesome chants, and the match started off kind of slow for me. It took a while, but they built it up really good. They didn't just start going at it nonstop 100 miles an hour as soon as it started. No, they built up to it. It took a little bit, but more towards the middle, they got me. They hooked me, and I was into this match. The fans were into this match. Not bad for a triple threat. You guys know how I feel about triple threat matches, but I was into it, man. It was a pretty wild opening match, I thought, to set the tone for the show. And no title change. Becky Lynch retained. She stole the victory. And we're going to see some more tension there between Bayley and Lyra build. But what did you guys think?
I was some backstory real quick for those of you who don't know. I almost missed this show because I thought it started at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm on a date with my wife at a restaurant, and at 6:55, I double check with the chat what time the show starts, and Tommy goes, starts at 7. I go, oh, that's 5 minutes from now. So we very quickly got the check, raced home. Thank God entrances take 20 years of WWE. So when I got home and turned the TV on, I had set our takeout on the counter, our leftovers on the counter, about to open them so I could finish my BLT. And as soon as the ad intro for Peacock ended, the bell rang. So I am glad I got to see this match from start to glorious finish, because you want to talk about a match that built into the ramp up. By the 3.5 minute mark, these girls were going balls to the walls. Like they were wrestling like it was sudden death. They were wrestling like if they stopped moving, the ring was going to fall into the center of the earth. Like, I mean, it was crazy. Near fall after near fall, roll up after roll up, counter after counter, technical after technical, finisher after finisher, counter after counter. These girls, these women, like, talk about starting strong, okay? And I mean strong. Aside from the fact that this match got not only 1, not 2, but 3 This Is Awesome chants and a women's wrestling chant, okay?
Yeah.
Dude, and the finish, genius. I have never in all my years ever, not even on the indies when I was performing, have I ever seen someone do a back roll into a back slide to steal a pin like Becky did. Becky, I don't know who taught Becky that. I don't know whose idea that was. Maybe Bayley gave her that shit behind the scenes, because Becky ain't never pulled that shit out of her bag before. But not only was that a very easy move to botch, she hit it clean as a whistle, all shoulders down, no raise, no lift, all, T's crossed, I's dotted. Fucking put it in the books. This was one of the best matches this year. Not of the show, the year. If this is not a match of the year contender, I will be so fucking surprised. Top marks. It's about how you leave them, but you gotta start them off strong. Fuck yes.
Yeah, what a way to start the fucking show. Holy shit. Like, I'm over here watching this while I'm in the car on the way home from Wisconsin. I'm like, holy shit. This is starting? This is starting the show? What the fuck? Like, I was like mentally freaking out because I'm like, oh god, if this is how we're gonna start, how the fuck is anything gonna beat this? I'm like, Blood even said in our chat right after the match that he was worried for the next match that followed. It was that damn good that you are terrified for what's coming next because you already don't think it's going to beat it. That it just won't stack up as well as when this started. It was insane, and I absolutely loved it.
Well, Tommy, I hate to break it to you, but in my personal and unbiased opinion, the second match did top it. The second match, to me, I like this way more, and I'm talking about Jordan Grace versus JC Jane. And I'm not really familiar with JC Jane at all, really. I haven't been watching NXT, don't know what the buildup is, but, I've seen JC Jane on TNA a few times, and just the way that they told the story in the ring, the fact that JC Jane, people have been saying that she's not like a champion material. She's the most beatable champion there has ever been in NXT. And, Jordan Grace is out there with Blake Monroe, which we'll get into. JC Jane has her own squad with her. And it's Jordan Grace, a freaking freak of nature, like a muscle bodybuilder athlete. And JC Jane was all over Jordan Grace, and I'm like, wait a minute. I thought this was supposed to be an easy match for Jordan Grace. At least that's how it was explained to me. But then JC Jane is over here in full control of Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace was playing defense most of this match. And I want to see Jordan Grace come back and, fight back on JC Jane. And then all the shenanigans happen where JC Jane's crew gets involved. Then Blake Monroe tries to help Jordan Grace, and there's all chaos in the ring. And I should have seen this coming, man. I had a feeling that Blake Monroe was gonna turn, but I'm like, no, that's too obvious. There's no way. But she did. Blake Monroe turned on Jordan Grace, so that also gave Jordan Grace kind of like an out. So she didn't really look completely weak after getting pinned by JC Jane. But it was also interesting to note that after the match, Stephanie McMahon commented on this, and she said that Blake Monroe just debuted this huge impact. And I'm like, damn, she hasn't been in the company that long, and already she's doing these heel turns in these big matches. I loved everything about this, and I gotta say I like this way better than the opening match. But what did you guys think?
So like as soon as they showed that backstage segment between Blake and Jordan, the way that Blake was like acting, I mean performance wise, not like how she was being towards Jordan, how she was actually physically doing the lines. I looked at my wife and I was like, she's going to turn on her ass at the end of this match. Just you, White. And my wife's like, well, make sure you say that. I said, because everything about her is saying, don't trust me. So I knew that turn was coming. I wasn't sure at what point in the match, but I knew it was going to factor into the finish. So I wasn't surprised by that. And I think that's what killed a little bit of my hype toward the end, because I already knew it would happen. I just felt it in my bones. That being said, I thought the girls did a great job. These ladies did a great job. I thought the match was really well worked. Can definitely tell that this is NXT based on the style. I think Jordan just continues to be amazing, even though Def Rebel gave her fucking track 9 from Superstar 11 from SmackDown versus Raw 2009. Like, her music is the most generic, unenergizing shit ever. Like, I can't get pumped up when she comes out because I'm like, bro, this track is trash, bro. And she's so good that I'm like, she deserves some epic, unique entrance. What the fuck is this? It's like generic ass rock music on the back of like Pro Skater. You know, like that being said, the girls wrestled a great match. I didn't think it was on par with the first match. I don't think it came close to the first match. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think energy wise, the crowd still liked it. I think the crowd was really still riding the high from that first match. I will say that, in my opinion, and by the way, this is not an insult, but compared to everything else we got on the show, I think between this match and Trish and Tiffany, I think this might be, and I'm not even including the Battle Royal, I'm including actual physical matches that are not over the top. I'm talking about pinfall matches here. I think this might be the weakest match on the show behind Trish versus Tiffany. This is, to me, out of all the matches tonight, this is second from the bottom. Because I think the worst match on the show tonight, which was still relatively decent, is Trish and Tiffany. I did not think that this was all that, but I did think it was still very good.
Snug, I don't even think it topped it. I think it's close. Very, very close. But it did not top it for me. Blake Monroe, as you said, just recently debuted. In fact, she just debuted. I believe it was only a couple weeks ago. And she's already pulling this. And I absolutely love it. I really do. Because of the fact that she's already proving that, hey, you can trust me when we're teaming. But when it's just you, I will gladly stab you in the back. I don't care. Glamour is everything. And I am the spotlight. That is basically what she just did in words, is that. She just proved to Jordynne Grace that teaming with her was just to team with her and deal with fatal influence. In reality, just like with Charlotte, she doesn't like sharing the spotlight because she is the spotlight.
Well, I gotta say, man, this was probably my favorite match of the night. Besides Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, which we'll get into, this was one of my favorite matches. It was really refreshing, maybe because after all the fucking wrestling we've seen this weekend, it was cool to see something new, something fresh, something different. You know, I'm not really too familiar with JC Jane. I haven't really seen a whole lot of Jordynne Grace matches, so it was really new to me what I was seeing here. Blake Monroe too, also new. I'm not surprised that Blake Monroe turned. I mean, if you know who she is, where she comes from, you know, from AEW, Mariah May, she was such a natural heel in AEW. So I'm excited that we're gonna see a heel Blake Monroe in the WWE, and also the fact that Jordynne Grace isn't the women's NXT champion. Now we have a possibility that Jordynne Grace might get called up to the main roster soon.
I also want to say to your credit and your defense, in case anybody disagrees with why you think this match was better than the opener, Snug also happened to watch roughly 12 hours of professional wrestling in the last 48 hours. He spent 1/4 of the entire weekend just watching pro wrestling with all the shows: AEW, NXT, Great American Bash, Saturday Night's Main Event, and then this tonight. So I can understand why this would feel so fresh for you. So I can understand and even agree with why you come to that conclusion. So if anybody jumps down his throat about it, you got to understand. The whole weekend had a lot of rematches, a lot of we've seen this before, a lot of deja vu. This was, for main roster TV, which is what we mostly focus on in this podcast, it was fresh.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm like, oh, I'm so. And then tomorrow we got Monday Night Raw, but it's all good, man. We love this. That's why we do this, you know. All right, you guys, let's go to the next match, the third match of the night, the four-way tag team match for the women's tag team championships. And this was pretty much what we expected. It was a little bit of everything. And all eight, one, two, three, yeah, eight of these women, they all looked really fucking amazing in this match. I mean, the action was nonstop because you can tag anyone you want. It doesn't have to be anyone in your team. So it was like blind tag after blind tag, and it was just moving. And I like the seeing the mixture, the face-offs that I never thought we would see, like Zarya versus Alexa Bliss. They had like a couple stare downs there that got me thinking, oh shit, maybe they can cook up something there with Alexa Bliss and Zarya. That would be really interesting. I even popped for that Soul Ruka move, the Soul Snatcher. I even popped for that. I mean, that's how much I was into it. As much as I hate to talk shit about that move, but the most interesting thing to me was the pop that Alexa Bliss got, and also Charlotte Flair. What happened? Like, what the fuck? Like, just a few days ago, people were booing the shit out of Charlotte Flair, but now we love Charlotte Flair again? What's going on here? And yeah, man, it's that Alexa Bliss effect, right? She got the rub from Alexa Bliss, and fucking people love Charlotte Flair again. So Raquel, Roxanne, they retained. Raquel Rodriguez, by the way, looked fucking great too in this match, like a real powerhouse, like she should be. Even Wade Barrett at one time said, "This is the Raquel that we're used to seeing from NXT, a real powerhouse." So I love this, y'all. I absolutely loved everything about this.
So for me, this is actually my match of the night, because as y'all know, this was the one match I was really looking forward to the most. Specifically because, as everyone knows, and if you don't, you're going to find out, Charlotte Flair is my GOAT when it comes to women's wrestling. Sol Ruca is also my most favorite up-and-coming rising star and has been for the last year. I've had my eye on her since a year ago. And I had been saying for a couple weeks leading up to this that I was clamoring to see Charlotte Flair face off against Sol Ruca in this match. The only negative thing I have to say about this match is that I'm disappointed I did not get to see them interact more. They interacted with each other, I think, once. And that was when Sol Ruca fucking spiked Charlotte Flair with that Soul Snatcher. And Charlotte sold the shit out of that Soul Snatcher. I will say I loved everything in this match. Every girl got a chance to shine. Everyone looked great. The Kabuki Warriors back on the same page. They were nice and smooth. Charlotte and Alexa, bro, getting pop after pop. The "we want Charlotte" chants. I opened my eyes wide and went, what? And my wife, who hates Charlotte, and Charlotte's growing on her, she admitted. She goes, holy shit, they're actually chanting for Charlotte. And I was like, I know. They're like, but they hate Charlotte. I said, I think it's because pairing her up with Alexa Bliss was probably the smartest thing they could do. Alexa's so loved that her cute, adorable, I'm the mean one and I'm the sweet one act is endearing to people. And their whole taunt and tease each other thing, people can relate to that. You have that friend that you pick on. One's the asshole with the heart of gold. The other one is the genuine, sincere one. And you have the big one who's watching the little one's back. I think people can relate to things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my best friends, Jonathan, he's 6'3". I'm the asshole with the heart of gold. He's the nice one who doesn't like confrontation. Me, I'm a dick. I love fighting, so so I can relate to that. And I love that Charlotte saved her tonight from a spear, and that great camera angle, which I know is going to play into the story, where Charlotte is cradling Alexa in the corner and just protecting her. Like she's really trying to protect her. And Sol Ruca sold the shit out of that spear from Zarya. That was a great spear. Great sell. And we saw a lot of spears tonight. A lot of spears. Kyrie does a spear. Zarya does a spear. Freaking Charlotte Flair did a goddamn spear. I was like, okay, y'all turn this into the super kick. But as far as it's concerned, match was fun. I loved it. But I will say we all were right. We all predicted that the retention was going to be Raquel and Roxanne. Specifically, we agreed that it was because the story needed to continue where Raquel and Roxanne get closer because it's only going to fuel that jealousy from when Liv returns. Wow, you guys are really chummy and close. And Raquel, you've replaced me. It's only going to feed into that because Raquel's the only one who's reluctant about Roxanne being there. Dom's on the fence, but Raquel was one who was really against it. And now that she's helped her retain her title, she's starting to, you saw her tonight when they won. She was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So the right people won, in my opinion, but the match was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Completely agree, man. Completely agree. This thing was an absolute blast. After we did our recording for the predictions, I saw something on Facebook that I honestly wish would have happened because it would have been awesome, especially with the rumor still being that Alexa will be in the Wyatt Six at some point. And I did send it in our group chat as well. Somebody said, what if Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair get the tag titles? Alexa then comes out with Charlotte and basically goes, hey, this was a one-night thing. This was legitimately just to get to gold. You are not my friend, but these are my family. And then all of a sudden Nikki Cross comes out. I would have loved for that to happen, but I do feel like as well that the right team did in fact win, because as Blood said, all it will do is feed into those little cracks. All it will do is just widen up those cracks a little bit more. Pause. But it but still, what it will do is it will absolutely dig deeper into the problems that are there and make them so much worse when Liv Morgan eventually comes back.
All right, y'all. Well, again, let me remind everyone how much wrestling there's been this weekend, right? So after all this wrestling, I was already not really looking forward to this next match, Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. After all the wrestling, I'm sorry, but I was checked out during this match. I didn't pay much attention. I saw that Tiffany Stratton won, but I mean, like, did I miss anything here?
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Between this and Jade v. Naomi, I think that these were the bottom of the barrel matches. And I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna give my thoughts on both matches right now, just to knock it out of the fucking way. This match was pointless because no one believed that Trish was going to win, because none of us believed that Naomi would cash in on Tiffany here, because we originally thought Naomi would cash in on Tiffany at SummerSlam against Jade. And we already know that they've been building Jade v. fucking goddamn Tiffany for weeks now. So why would Trish win here? Pointless ass match just to highlight the day and old of older former professional women's wrestling, which is fine. Trish looked like $1 million. I think Trish looked better and worked better than Tiffany did. Legitimately. Trish actually Trish corrected fucking the botch that Tiffany did. Tiffany botched her own cartwheel fucking Alabama slam. Okay? Like, she fucking, goddamn, she hit the perfect moonsault and almost kneed Trish straight in the face when she landed. Okay? So I'm sorry. Like, you're sloppy. I want the title off of Tiffany. I'm sorry. Send her ass back down to NXT. I think Trish looked like $1 million. This match was pointless. Didn't need to be here. It was just here to showcase old and new in generations colliding. I literally was not joking when I said in the chat, guys, that I was taking the Jade v Naomi match as my bathroom break, and I did, because the BLT hit Uncle Blood like a fucking freight train. And I was in there so long that I missed the entrances, and I came back for the finish. You know what I saw of the Jade Naomi match? When she fucking hit her with the fucking jaded through the table, and it was over. And that's what I saw. And I asked my wife. My wife just told me the key points of the match. Everything that I needed to know about that match, they showed me in the fucking replays. I said from the moment this match was announced, I said, this is the most useless match of the weekend. I ranted about it. And I said, it's because Naomi already has the briefcase. She's already guaranteed a title shot and probably will be a champion. Spoiler alert, was I wrong? And I said that Jade already has a guaranteed shot at Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam. So what is the fucking point of her settling this beef with Naomi here? We could have had the Women's United States Championship match in this match's place. But instead, the Women's United States Champion was in the fucking Battle Royal. You could have put fucking anybody else in there. But no. So those are my thoughts on both matches. You can pass me when you bring them up.
Oh, God. So in our chat, Blood said that that there was going to be a match at some point and all of that, where everything else is so high. My immediate response was, watch. There's going to be one match where it just sinks for a little bit. This was that fucking match. It was not good. Compared to the others, this thing, as Blood said, bottom of the fucking barrel. It was not good. I honestly wish it was better, but here's the problem. And Triple H, you need to fix this. Because you have this issue where you either pull the trigger way too fucking soon or way too fucking late. Get a middle ground. Because with Tiffany Stratton, you pulled it way too early. And now I'm starting to think, please, for God's sake, take it off of Tiffany at SummerSlam. Let Jay take it the fuck off of her.
I'd like to also iterate to that, Tommy. I was hoping that they were going to save that cash in for SummerSlam, so I didn't have to deal with a Jade title reign either. And now I feel like we're going to have to. Because as I said in the chat, this was my biggest problem with Tiffany Stratton. She has no character. She is a catchphrase. She has defended that title, 3 times now? Since she's won the thing before WrestleMania? And I'd like to point out, in this match, remember, in the build, she was still a babyface. Remember that? She was a babyface. Tell me why in this match she taunted Trish like a heel. When she won, she nanted literally on camera like a fucking 5-year-old heel. The ref tried to raise her hand. She yanked her arm away from the ref. She didn't show any respect to Trish Stratus. But on the way out, she's smacking high fives at fans. Pick a lane, Tiff. Are you a heel or a face? She has no direction. She has no character. She does not defend the title. She is just a catchphrase. She is boring as fuck. And she cannot wrestle a full match competently. She can't wrestle a full match competently. Take the fucking title off her. Too early, Triple H. Too early. She was a pet project. It has failed. She is not over. Her catchphrase is over. There's a difference because there's no character to connect to with her. I'm sorry. People say Jay is a catchphrase. We spent 5 years with him. He's got character.
Well, when it comes to Jade and I mean, I'm not gonna say anything else about Trish and fucking Tiffany Stratton because what the fuck. But Jade versus Naomi, the only reason why I was looking forward to this match was because Bianca Belair was a special guest referee, and I wanted to see if anything was gonna come out of that, and they did nothing. So, yeah, I was wondering, is she, which side is Bianca gonna pick? And um, that was it. That was it for me. So I watched this whole entire match. I mean, it was a gimmick on top of a gimmick. It was first no disqualification, and on top of that, a special guest referee. I mean, it kind of seems crazy that you would need a special guest referee for a no DQ match. Like, there's no rules, so why do you need a special guest referee? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, we've already established that Jade, her matches are not the greatest ever. I don't think she needs to be having no DQ matches if she could barely have a regular match. But that's just me. But I think the whole, Mr. Blood, you bring up a good point. What's the point of having this match if Jade is already going to SummerSlam? Naomi is the briefcase winner. She's now the champion. The only thing I can think of is like they're just trying to build up Jade even more so she can look really strong versus Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam. By taking all these fucking crazy bumps and having these, crazy matches, they're trying to establish her as like a real threat. Other than that, I don't really see the point in having this match, but Jade Cargill won. We still don't know what's happening with Bianca Belair, and they fucking, I don't know, man. They fooled me with this one, man. I was expecting something, and we got nothing out of this. That's how I feel. Anything else you guys want to add about this match?
I would like to just say that again, extremely feel like what a waste of time. Not just because we had the match here and did not get the Women's United States Championship a spotlight, because that title's only a year old. It deserved a spotlight at the second only ever Evolution pay-per-view with Julia as its champion. That's important. Thanks for dropping the ball so you could give us this deflated flat fucking ball of this match and not give us the only thing that could have possibly made this match interesting, which was, is Bianca going to turn on one or the other or both? Because Bianca desperately needs a heel turn. She is so stale. She's so stale that Twinkies are afraid of her. I'm sorry. This was the lowest point of the pay-per-view in what was an amazing show.
My biggest problem is, you're absolutely right, Snug. Why the fuck do you need a special guest referee being Bianca Belair if nothing was going to come of it? We still don't have an answer of what side she's actually on, and guess where it would have been the perfect damn time to solidify that answer? Right here, where she's special guest referee. Literally right here would have been the perfect time for her to say which side she's actually on. Why? Just have a regular referee at that point.
And the sides don't even matter. Tommy, my brother, think about it. The sides don't even matter now. The story going forward, Bianca, the sides don't matter because Naomi is on Raw now. So she's exited out of that fucking story. This would have been the only good time to have Bianca turn on Jade so they could build a feud so we could finally get Bianca versus Jade.
The cash-in should have never fucking happened tonight.
I'm 100% happy that it did. We'll get into
that, yeah.
But let's move on. We digress.
Shout out to my homes 1592. What would you rate WWE Evolution? We'll do the rating at the very end. We're almost there, but not quite. Because we got the Battle Royal, you guys. This was actually really good, man, because it made sense. I mean, from the beginning, we kind of knew how this one should go. Yeah, with Stephanie Vacker winning, and that's exactly what happened from the very beginning. Just the way that Stephanie has been built up, it's a no-brainer. She had to win this one, and she did. But I really liked how it all went down. Everything from the final three women, which was Lash Legend, Nia Jax, and Stephanie Vacker. Lash Legend looked fucking great in this Battle Royal. So the last three were one from NXT, one from Raw, and one from SmackDown. Also, the person that eliminated Nikki Bella was also Lash Legend, which I thought was really interesting to point out. What if we see something come out of that between, imagine Lash Legend getting the rub from Nikki Bella? That would do some wonders for Lash Legend because people love Nikki Bella. And I wouldn't mind seeing someone like Lash Legend get that rub, from Nikki Bella. If Lash Legend beats Nikki Bella, that's heat. That's something. They might have something there with those two, but the last two was Stephanie Vacker and Lash Legend. And my first thought was, how the hell is Stephanie Vacker gonna pull this off? Because she had to win. And lucky enough, man, the way that she did it was none other than her own move, the move that everyone loves, including Booker T, that I don't even know what it's called. But yeah, man, this Battle Royal was
The Devil's Kiss.
Thank you, the Devil's Kiss. With that, the Devil's Kiss on the apron. Stephanie Vacker won the Battle Royal. She's going to Paris. She's the number one contender now. Beautiful, isn't that?
I don't have a lot of thoughts on this match. It's a Battle Royal. Okay, you've seen them. You've seen one. You've seen just about all of them. Usually, it's just a matter of a mixture of who's in the Battle Royal. I will say it was fun. A lot of great moments. Mostly everybody got to shine, aside from the people that were booted out of there within the first 10 seconds. But just about everyone got a moment. Standouts in this match, easily Chelsea Green, hamming it up as usual. She was a lot of fun. She always is. I'd say even Zelina hang in there for a bit. They gave her some stuff to do with Julia. Again, extremely pissed off that Julia was even in this match to begin with. Nia, always a standout. Nia's so underappreciated. She really is. And I love seeing her just goof off and have fun. So many people mimicking and imitating the Bella's hip swing dance. When Nia hit that shit, I popped. I was laughing so hard. I literally audibly went, I fucking love Nia. I like that they always still book Nia strong. She made it to damn near the very end. She is a monster. She should be booked as a monster, and it should take a monster to get rid of a monster, and that is what happened with Lash Legend. Lash Legend, great performance, stand out here. Again, I love that they're highlighting how great these NXT girls are, like they did with Jordan Grace and JC Jane, and right here tonight with Lash Legend, they're making sure that NXT is highlighted, that people who don't watch NXT maybe regularly, who are only main roster casuals or main roster fans, they go, hey, you got to tune in because look at the talent that's in front of you right now. They're only on NXT. And I thought that was really great that an NXT talent got to be of the final two. We all said on the panel that it had to be Stephanie Vaquer. We all agreed that she was the one that needed to win. That was our predictions. We all agreed, and we were right. She makes the most sense. She's so over. She's very popular, and she is a rising star in the main roster. If you want to build new stars, you have got to make sure you book them well. And she has been getting booked very, very well. And she's had even more fanfare since Money in the Bank, specifically when she hit that devil's kiss on Rhea Ripley on the ladder bridge. And that went viral for 3 weeks. So people are really behind her. I am so glad. I screamed so loudly when Nikki Bella got eliminated. I was so goddamn happy. My wife got mad because she likes Nikki Bella, and I was like, I can't stand Nikki Bella. I was terrified that they were going to have her win. And I was like, I already had to deal with Trish Stratus getting a title shot tonight. I do not want to deal with Nikki Bella at Clash in Paris. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see her in another one-on-one title match. I was sick of her 10 years ago. That being said, great match, great battle royal, right person won. WWE takes another check, tick, great step in the right direction.
Completely agree. I do feel like the best hip movement for me was the woman that is most well known for shaking said hips, good old Lola Vice, doing it with Bella. It made sense there. Of course she was going to fucking do it. Fucking love it. I love the fact that she did get some spotlight there. Like the NXT girls in general, especially in this match, for the people that don't watch NXT, they will easily look at this match and just go, well, gotta watch that now. Because holy shit, they're good. Like, this is just proof that, as has been said for quite some time, NXT is one of the greatest training programs on the fucking planet. Especially being headed by none other than HBK himself, Shawn Michaels. The most sense there. And I do love the fact as well that even before and after the match, both, it was heavy set out with the phrase, Stephanie Vaquer debuted a year ago. Look at her now. Holy shit. A year ago in NXT, became North American champion pretty quickly. Then was the first woman to hold both the North American and NXT titles. Lost both of those and then got pulled up pretty damn quickly. Holy shit. Like, that is how good Stephanie Vaquer is. And I love the fact that she is being pushed as well as she is.
Yeah, that one was pretty much a no-brainer. When we did the Evolution review, we all automatically said Stephanie Vaquer. So, I mean, prediction episode. But yeah. All right, you guys, the main event. Man, this was one hell of a main event. Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. And this was a great main event for all women's PLE Evolution. These two women tore the fucking house down. This was a great match. It was a wrestling match. It was high flying. It was a brawl at some point. It just turned into fucking chaos and just a straight up fight. Excuse me. And man, I didn't know how this was going to go because Rhea Ripley is 0-3 versus Io Sky. Rhea hasn't been able to defeat Io Sky. So I'm like, Rhea Ripley, she has to win this one because damn, imagine if it's 0-4 versus Io Sky and you're Rhea Ripley. That's crazy. And then here comes first we had a few false finishes there that I thought for sure was going to be it. But no, they just kept going. And then the big referee bump. Jessica Carr took a missile drop kick from Io Sky, a really good one too. Jessica Carr was there for it. She took it. It looked great. And all hell broke loose from there, man. And I'm like, what the fuck are these two going to do next? And then Naomi's music hits, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? She's not going to do it. But Nia Jax isn't around to stop her this time, so what the fuck? It was official. They rang the bell not once, because apparently Naomi didn't hear the bell ring the first time, and she was like, hurry up, ring the bell. I'm like, girl, they already rang the bell. They rang it again for her, thankfully. Naomi cashed in. It's a triple threat match. And we get a new champion, and my first thought was like, oh, no. We're going to see a rematch at SummerSlam between Naomi and Jade Cargill, but I'm like, no, because that's the Raw title belt, right? And I completely forgot that Naomi was on SmackDown. We all thought she was going to cash in on Tiffany, and she ended up cashing in on Io Sky for Monday Night Raw. I'm not a fan of Naomi, but this added so much more excitement to this already really good match. The match was good. It would have been good without the cash-in, but the cash-in always just adds more excitement to everything. So I hate Naomi's character. I hate her gimmick, but I love the timing of this. But what did you guys think?
Start to finish, I think we can all agree that none of us wanted that triple threat at WrestleMania with Io, Rhea, and Bianca. We all wanted the one-on-one match that we got here tonight should have been the WrestleMania match that Io and Rhea had. And they should have had it with a finish at WrestleMania. That being said, out of all four of their matches from NXT to now, I think this was their best match. They really pulled out all the stops tonight. They went extra hard. Rhea even tilting a little more towards heel. Once she got that visual fucking 3 count and no rep was around, she started losing her shit. She picked Io up, someone she's supposed to care about that's also supposed to be her friend. She hit her with a stiff Razor's Edge. And speaking of Razor's Edge, that nice callback to Damian Priest. She not only hit the Razor's Edge, she spiked her with that first Razor's Edge, picked her up into a sit-out power bomb. I was like, God, let the girl spine get back into place first. Jessica Carr taking a freaking missile drop kick. I would have loved to have seen the Mortal Kombat X-ray zoom in to her chest when those feet hit her, like the pew coo. And then, like, dude, Jessica Carr sold that shit like she got hit by a car. And I was like, dude, it was in my wife. And I was like, where is she? She has been down for like 9 minutes. I'm like, Jessica, it's one drop kick, girl. Come on. It ain't that serious. I'm like, how have they not sent another ref down here by now? And we found out why, because the only other available fucking ref, Naomi, drugged down to the ring with her. Now, Naomi cashing in that Money in the Bank briefcase. You know, I mean, I know for a fact that I was the only one on this panel from the get-go that was behind Naomi's heel turn. I made it very clear from the beginning I was the only one who liked it. You guys felt it was awkward, it was weird, it was forced, it was pushed. Her promos were weird. You didn't like her proceed with caution stuff. I loved it from the get-go because I know Naomi is capable of so much more. And ever since she came back to the company, she, to me, was, in my opinion, in her best version of herself, her best run. There was a new fire in her since becoming that knockout women's champion, going back on the indies, getting that fire and desire to come back to the company and prove her worth and prove what she could do. And it culminated here tonight because no matter what you say, Naomi does have great promo ability. She is a great in-ring wrestler. She is great at character work. She can sell. She is charismatic, and people do react to her. Naomi, in my opinion, was a smart choice because tonight, this bit of booking, this piece of business tonight, in my opinion, might be one of the smartest pieces of business Triple H has booked all year. I genuinely believe that this is one of the smartest pieces of business Triple H booked all year, making us believe for months not months, but at least for weeks and weeks, that Naomi would only be cashing on Tiffany because they kept forcing her story around Tiffany, around Nia Jax. And it turned out the whole thing was a ruse to make us lose focus of the fact that she can cash in on any champion. And this match went so hard, so long, so fast, Giga D, okay, and no pause, all resume, no gas, all breaks with it. Wait, all gas, no breaks with it. This match had so much going on that you never even thought Naomi was a factor because you were so focused on them putting the wool over our eyes with Tiffany's story and the fact that Naomi had already wrestled tonight. No one was thinking Naomi was a possibility. That's why this was genius to swerve us this way now. I thought this was excellent, intelligently booked. What a match, by the way. But it also winds up protecting Rhea in the finish. Because Rhea, you can't say that she that she lost to Io Sky. But Io did lose to Naomi. So I thought this was amazing. Top marks. I'm giving this show, you take out the Tiffany and the goddamn Jade match, this show for me is like an 8.5 out of 10.
Completely agree on that rating. I'm with you on that. Easy 8.5. Gladly give it that. Fuck. I get it. It was a swerve. It really was. My immediate thought as soon as her music hit was, please, there's not been a single woman who has ever failed their cash in. Let it happen. Please. Let it happen so Rhea can finally say she beat Io and finish that damn story. Please. Of course, didn't fucking happen. God, I hated this at first. I absolutely despised this decision at first because of the fact that I was so surrounded by the fact that all of Naomi's problems, even while Tiffany was Miss Money in the Bank, was surrounded by Tiffany Stratton. Every single little issue was surrounded by Tiffany. And it drove me insane when I heard her music. Because I'm just like, okay, I'm 6-0. If Rhea wins this, I'm undefeated. Let's go. Please finish this story. And then her music hit. My stepdad was in the room with me. My immediate response was, fuck! Damn it! Because I had this feeling that she was going to successfully cash in and ruin it. And she did. And it hurt. It really did. It hurt. Because I really wanted Rhea to win and finally be able to say that I finally beat Io Sky. But it hasn't happened. So I am with Jackie Redmond when she says, please, at SummerSlam, give us another round and finally let Rhea finish the job.
Yeah, man. Overall, way better show than I expected, man. I didn't know what to expect, but they really delivered with this one, man. I'm really happy with this show, and it was fun to watch. It was fun to go over it. It was fun to talk about. Like always, you guys were awesome today. Right on point with all the reviews and everything. So, yeah, that was the WWE Evolution for 2025 review with the Snug Wrestling crew. Mr. Blood, please take us home.
And guys, thank you so much for joining us here on Snug Wrestling on Apple and Spotify or wherever you've been getting your podcast. We've also been live on TikTok and on Facebook and Instagram. However, we are going live on TikTok again this Thursday for Snug and I's one-on-one between 9 p.m. Eastern start time and 6 p.m. Pacific. Now, as far as it's concerned, if you love your wrestling content from Snug Wrestling, and I know you do, then join us every Monday and Friday after Raw and SmackDown go off the air respectively for our live after show reviews, again on Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, or you can watch us on TikTok Live, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, and YouTube. And as far as that is concerned, if you like reaction content, you like feeling how people react the way you do and see if they feel the way that you feel. That's why it's addictive, right? Well, you can catch our fearless leader, Edgar, the head of Snug Wrestling, the man, the myth, the legend from California, as he uploads real in-time reactions from not only WWE, but also AEW content as well, minutes and seconds after those moments happen on the social. So follow us everywhere. And again, stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug. 4 letters, 1 word.
1 word.